Tiny Temple is a deceptively difficult track that leaves little room for error. However, the first lap is honestly not that important, so I'm going to be talking over it a little bit to explain some concepts that we're going to need later. As we get closer to the second lap, I'll start showing you where we're going to apply these concepts. And at the end of the video, I'll help you troubleshoot why you might be losing your blue fire. First up, let's talk about reserves. Reserves are a hidden resource that builds up after every boost, be it from a drift boost or boost pad. I believe the power-up gives it as well. The more reserves you have, the longer you can maintain Sacred Fire and Ultimate Sacred Fire, otherwise known as the speed boosts you get from certain boost pads, some of which give you Sacred Fire, some of which give you Ultimate Sacred Fire. For example, the boost pad I just went over and the one I'm about to go over right now both grant Sacred Fire. Alright, let me back up a bit here. You want to be building your reserves well before you hit that boost pad that grants you Ultimate Sacred Fire. And now the real race begins. Start drifting as soon as you hit the ground. Your mantra for the rest of this race is if I can drift boost, I must drift boost. Unless doing so is going to cause you to hit the wall and lose your USF. Start your drift around this corner back here. Any further and you're going to hit the wall. Remember that you're going real fast now. That's going to affect how cleanly you can take some of these turns. Again, start drifting as soon as you hit the ground. Always be drifting. Through the tempo as well. Keep drifting and make sure you get those drift boosts. Now you'll see me jump to the shortcut here. It's honestly not necessary, you can go either way. I prefer to take the shortcut because I think it's more fun, but it's entirely up to your own preference. If you're not comfortable with that, then feel free to take the normal path. No U-turns needed here, just start your drift around this spot, get 3 drift boosts, and right back to that USF path. Your final lap is exactly the same. Okay, let's look at why you might be losing USF. In this clip, you'll see me lose it only a couple seconds after hitting the ramp. The reason that this happened is that I did not build up enough reserves before I hit the USF ramp. You'll see here that I stopped drifting and, more importantly, stopped accumulating drift boosts. As a result, when I hit the USF pad, I'll keep it for a couple of seconds until my reserves run out, and then I'll lose it. If you're losing USF as soon as you hit the ground, this is for the exact same reason. Keep in mind that hitting a wall or any other obstacle will cause you to lose all of your reserves immediately. In this clip I get a little bit farther, but I still lose USF in a tempo. If we back up a little bit, we'll see that I did not have any drift boosts while I had USF on my approach to the tempo, causing me to lose my reserves and thus lose USF. Remember, your reserves are draining while you're not drifting or boosting. Same problem here, just a little further on. You'll see here that I stopped drifting and stopped drift boosting. Since I've got a decent amount of reserves at this point, the USF continues on for quite a little ways after I've stopped, but it will always eventually sputter out and die. And of course, don't hit anything. This will cause an immediate USF loss. Beyond that, any USF loss will always be due to losing reserves. Remember, always be drifting, always be drift boosting. And that's going to do it, guys. I know that this track can be frustrating for a lot of people. It requires you to get kind of a feel for how driving at the speed of USF is, and that takes a little bit of time. Lastly, if you found this video helpful at all, do me a favor, give me a like, and consider subscribing for additional tutorials in the future. I do intend to get to all of them eventually. And above all, have fun and good luck.